Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Great Scott. Don't I look brooding and cool and like edgy? You know, like an Earth 1 version of Scotty V or something. I know that's what they're going for these days, you know, dark and looking down at the floor and walking around like you're miserable and you wear a hoodie. You're awesome. Anyway, this week saw the premiere of the DC Comics special on Robot Chicken, and it reminded me of something that I actually wanted to discuss a while back that I kind of forgot about, the Max Landis Death of Superman little mockery short film type of thing. What I thought was really cool about it was that it had all these kind of well-known people in it. You know, Mandy Moore and you know, that Hobbit guy, and they were clearly showing their geekness and their love of comic books. And I think the same kind of thing happens on Robot Chicken. They parody popular culture. They parody geeky stuff, Star Wars, superheroes. And I think when people do that, it's clearly an indication that they love the genre, and sometimes even the very character that they seem to be making fun of. What I find very interesting is that with Robot Chicken, it's kind of just a goof, and it's silly, and it's cheap, and it's, you know, the kid from Austin Powers kind of making a goofy thing with little dolls. So I think nobody really takes it seriously or cares that much about what they do on there. They laugh at it, and they move on. But with the Max Landis thing, it seemed like there was a huge outrage and an outcry from fans about how it was disrespectful and about how terrible it was. And I can understand feeling like your favorite character's under attack, you know, in terms of Superman being killed and coming back. And that's what the whole documentary, you know, mockery is about. You know, it's this guy kind of sitting there making fun of the whole story arc, and I actually found it pretty funny. There were a few things that annoyed me. In it, they make it out to the whole how cool Batman thing is again. The guy says something like, "I just feel like if this was Batman, he would have figured out in 5 minutes a way to defeat Doomsday without anybody dying and without throwing a punch." And here we have Superman, Earth's greatest hero, just throwing down and deciding he needs to fight and destroy buildings and everything. And clearly in the story, every other hero was taken out and there was no other option. But I thought the jokes were funny. I thought the way they kind of made fun of it was funny. I think that if you're that popular and you're that impactful that you can have people talking about your storyline 20 years after the fact, that you can have people talking about making movies about your storyline. I think that means that you've accomplished something, and clearly we saw by the media frenzy that, look at me, I'm over here, that occupied the whole story arc of Death of Superman, that it really was something different. You know, we've had lately Death of Captain America, Death of the Human Torch, there's been Death of Flash in the past, Death of Hal Jordan. They kill heroes almost all the time, and yet in this Max Landis documentary, they kind of make a big deal about how it destroyed death in comics because now everybody knows everybody can come back. But they always came back. Anytime a hero typically dies in the comics, you know that if he was popular in any way, if he was useful for a story at any time in the future, that they were going to bring him back. It's a little like a soap opera that way. But I actually kind of thought the Max Landis thing was funny, and speaking of Robot Chicken, I thought that was very funny as well. They, of course, take a lot of jabs at Aquaman, and I guess there isn't as much a fervent fan base for Aquaman as there is with Superman, but you don't really hear a lot of people running around saying, but Aquaman's really cool, they shouldn't make fun of him. And maybe it's because people don't think Aquaman is cool, or I like Aquaman. I think he's always been kind of underrated and made fun of because he does a lot more than talk to fish, but they poke fun at it, and I don't even think that the creators necessarily believe all the things that they say about Aquaman. They're just doing it for fun, just like the Max Landis thing. And I think that there might be some annoyance there or some ire there in some situations, or they may even think some of the things are stupid, but I think that in general they're fans, and I think that their passion for being fans kind of shows that they put that much time into it. In the Max Landis thing, they had a lot of facts wrong and stuff, but I don't think that they were all that interested in getting all the facts right. I think they were just making a joke and trying to make people, I don't know, laugh, I suppose, just like with what Robot Chicken does. But I guess that's all for now. Remember, everybody, thanks for watching, and if you happen to be the one going up against Darkseid, you're probably just a guy in a catsuit.